For more on reaction to his speech, I want to bring in our Bloomberg political analyst, Matthew Dowd. Matt is George W. Bush's former chief campaign strategist and also the founding partner at Via Novo. And Matt is joining us bright and early from L.A. this morning. Matt, we were just talking to Morton Zuckerman, who's come out very vocally as one of President Obama's critics, and basically said, look, I think Obama did this whole speech the wrong way. It's not going to pass Congress. What do you say?
Well, I think Mort's right. I watched part of that, and I think he's right that part of the problem in Washington right now is there's no ability to build consensus and to bring people together. And so what happens is no matter who sponsors it, if President Obama sponsors it, the Republicans are against it. If the Republicans want it, the Democrats are against it. It's just we default into these polarized places. I think this is going to have a very difficult time passing in this environment, even pieces of it, because of the election cycle we're in. We're basically in 14 months of throwing these things back and forth. I think it's going to be very, very hard to get this done.
But don't you think the tax cuts part of it could get passed?
The tax cut part of it could get passed if President Obama had not supported it. That's the problem. And the Republicans agree with it. But the problem is if the House may pass the tax cuts, Betty, but it'll go to the Senate. The Senate will add things to it. The House won't agree to it, and then it'll get bogged down. And we'll go from, as I said last night, a nice, clean pine tree into this ornamented Christmas tree. That's what I think the process is going to do.
Well, then, Matt, going forward from here, I mean, obviously, President Obama is now hitting the trail again. He's going to try to sell this jobs plan. What kind of tone does it now set from here on out until November? What kind of a tone does it set?
Well, the tone already has been set. It's going to only get increasingly worse. I think we're in this battle zone now where Republicans are just going to constantly criticize President Obama and the Democrats. The Democrats are going to try to constantly criticize the Republicans. Everybody knows this election is about the economy and jobs. That is something everyone agrees to, so that's a universal thing. The problem is nobody can seem to agree on exactly what needs to get done, or they won't agree with each other and sit down with it and look like they're getting along. People seem to think compromise is a dirty word in Washington, when the business community, as you know, Betty, and other members that want to invest capital think compromise is a great thing. The politics in Washington right now don't allow it, and this election cycle is not going to allow compromise at this time.
Matt, what I'm just hearing is basically stalemate, no action then. Where do we go from here?
Well, that's the problem when the American public and the business community and the market is waiting for something to get done and waiting for us to move forward on this stagnant economy. That Washington has become completely dysfunctional. And so I think what you're going to have to do, unfortunately, is wait until after the November election before you can actually have something actually done in Washington. Really unfortunate. People are suffering. Businesses are suffering. But that's what Washington has seemed to come to.
Yeah, and it's hard to see the markets waiting patiently until November for something to get done out of Washington. Matthew, thank you very much. I really appreciate you joining me. Matthew Dowd, the Bloomberg political analyst and also former Bush campaign strategist, joining us from L.A.